This is part 2 of a 6-part series. So if you missed the first part, the first webinar is about the ways that the brain learns to read and why that's important to the science of reading. And next we are going into phonemes. Thank you for watching our webinars. Hello. This presentation will review the science of reading and phonemic awareness. Here you will find a QR code where you can snag all the slides for this presentation. My name is Erin McNeil, and I am a literacy program specialist at Keep Indiana Learning. I spent 18 years in the classroom as an English teacher, an ELL teacher and coordinator, and as a professor of pre-service teachers for reading methods and English education. I am excited to speak to you about the science of reading and my explanation of how this research translates to classroom practice. So in today's session, we are going to focus only on phonemic awareness. There will be other sessions that focus on other components of science of reading, but we're going to break them down and start with the building block, which is phonemic awareness. We will review the science of reading, what phonemic awareness is and what it looks like, why it's important, and then what instruction looks like for phonemic awareness. So the science of reading is a phrase that represents the accumulated knowledge about reading, reading development, and best practices for reading instruction. These were all obtained by the use of the scientific method. So a little history about the science of reading. In the 80s and 90s, researchers and practitioners debated how reading was best taught. You may have heard this referred to as the reading wars. In 2000, Congress asked the National Reading Panel to review all the reading research available, which ended up being around 100,000 research studies. The National Reading Panel's analysis made it clear that the best approach to reading instruction is one that incorporates explicit instruction in phonemic awareness, systematic phonics instruction, methods to improve fluency, and ways to enhance vocabulary and comprehension. So the science of reading is a vast body of knowledge, and there are many different interpretations of that knowledge. So in reality, learning to read does not begin or end with phonics instruction or whole word instruction. It's far broader and more complex. And these 5 research-based ideas, phonemic awareness, phonics, vocabulary, fluency, and comprehension, all work together as foundational pieces of learning how to read. The definition of phonemic awareness is the ability to hear and move around the sounds in words. For example, the word cat has 3 sounds. K, a, t, cat. So this short video explains why phonemic awareness is the key to learning to read.
What is phonemic awareness? This is the key to learning to read. It is the ability to hear, identify, and play with sounds and words. When children can identify sounds, this will help them when they begin to read. Phonemic awareness is the realization that within a word are individual sounds, or phonemes. Just to be clear, phonics focuses on teaching sound spelling relationships and is associated with print. Phonemic awareness tasks are oral. Sometimes kids leave off the ending sound to words, like, "Mom, I hurt my hand," instead of "hand." Have a pile of items, like Legos, and sit at a table. Each time they hear a sound in a word, have them put a Lego on the table.
What's the first sound you hear in the word back? Good, good. Now, what's the second sound you hear in back? Good job. And what is the last sound you hear in back? Great, good job.
They can go back and touch each Lego to repeat back, then say back.
So this video is really great because it not only talks about phonemic awareness and uses the sounds, but it also uses manipulatives to help students segment those words into phonemes. So why is phonemic awareness important? When we think about the way that our brains learn to read, is our brains recognize all letters in a word. So students begin with spoken word. We all begin by learning to speak, but then we incorporate our spoken word into the visual words. So we incorporate those two into our memories, and that's what achieves eventually whole word recognition. So by processing the sounds in words several times, this is called orthographic mapping, it allows us to recognize the whole word. So the goal is to process sounds to achieve whole word recognition. So this is how we tell the difference between words like hat and cat, drink and drank, definitely and defiantly. Please take a moment to read this slide. Did you read the words aloud in your head? I did. We turn written words into spoken language in our brain, and that is how we comprehend them. In shifting the balance, Berkins and Yates breaks down phonemic task, starting with less difficult, phoneme blending, to the most difficult. So phoneme blending puts sounds together to make a word, such as the 3 sounds in map. Segmenting phonemes starts with a whole word and it breaks it into parts, like they did in the video with the word back. Phoneme isolation occurs when students can identify each sound in a word. Phoneme discrimination is learning to hear the differences and similarities in 2 or more sounds. For example, students can tell which words have different ending or beginning sounds, such as hat and that. Students would be able to tell the H sound from the TH beginning sound. And deletion is removing a sound, and substitution is when that sound is replaced with a new phoneme to create a new word. So how is this incorporated into classrooms? By breaking words apart into individual phonemes. So if you have a word wall, add the phonemes, add the sounds that are made up of each word on your word wall. You can blend phonemes together to create words. You can clap to listen to each sound in tap. You can delete and replace phonemes from words, or you can use phoneme segmentation. There is also a phonemic awareness progress record from Berkins and Yates that you can download that helps you keep track of where your students are in learning their phonemes. So let's watch this short video about using phoneme segmentation.
Need a blue marker for this, and I need a black marker for this. Okay, so the first word that we spelled was dark. Can you sound out the word dark with me? Say it one sound at a time. Let's say dark. What's the first sound? Dark. Okay, can you put your fingers up and count with me? Dark. How many sounds did we hear?
3.
3 sounds. So I'm going to make 3 boxes. 1 box, 2 boxes, 3 boxes. Let's say the sounds again. R. What do you hear at the beginning of that?
D.
D. The D sound. D. Perfect. What do you hear next in arc? What two letters together say R?
R.
Right.
A-R.
Good. And what do you hear at the end of dark?
A.
Good job. Can you write that underneath those boxes? Make it like a real word? That's fine. Here. Okay. Dark. Excellent. What's the
I
word?
made a twist on that.
That looks good. What's that word?
Dark.
Dark. Good job. Okay. So
Okay, so these phoneme segmentation boxes can be used individually or in small groups or in whole groups. Older students still need practice with phonemes. This is a foundational skill. Think about when you open a dictionary and try to sound out a new word, or when you go to dictionary.com and the pronunciation is there for you to press the button and hear the sounds in the word. So manipulation and pronunciation of phonemes are very important as students learn new words and phrases. So there are some ideas for older students are still creating new words by blending and segmenting longer words to show each sound, or to create new words by deleting phonemes. There are also games and manipulatives available for older students who are learning phonemes. Are you trying these ideas in your classroom already? We would love to have some real life examples about teaching phonemic awareness to use in possible future sessions. And if you still have questions, please reach out. I would love to talk with you about your questions or what you are doing in your classrooms. Thank you very much for attending this presentation, and I ask that you please share your feedback in this short survey. The QR code is here. There is also a place for you to leave your ideas about how you're effectively teaching phonemes, or to leave your questions. And the resources are also available here. Thank you so much.